I'm sure the owners appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sure they do too, but horse people, right?
Hmm.
I'm not one of them. I'm apparently I'm way too nice because I keep giving shit back. I'm gonna offend all the horse people now. I was a horse person, I just don't have them now. I have children to feed. Um, okay, I am so excited. Multiple reasons. First is I tried on the match point dress first, ever. I've never tried one on before. Today, this
How
morning. I'm
how have you
very,
missed that?
I don't know. I'm very late to the game on several areas of my life, including the match point dress. I blame Krista. Anyways, it's incredible.
I
It's
have it in four colors.
okay. Like where have I been? I don't know. I've literally like wearing it around the house this morning. Seamus is like, "Are you going somewhere that I'm not aware of?" I'm like, "Nope. I just really like this match point dress. It looks amazing." Anyways, it feels great. So that's tip number one. If you haven't tried the match point dress, apparently you need to. 4 years late for me. Not quite, but almost. I am on a mission to allow people to not feel like they have to do massive action. I don't know about you, but 2022 is dead and it's over, and I'm over it, and we no longer need to do massive action. First of all, I don't know about you all, but I'm exhausted. I don't want to do massive action anymore. I want to do inspired action. So that's what I've been calling it. You got to go from massive action to inspired action, and that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps the momentum going. It kind of brings back that joy and excitement that we had maybe in 2019. Um, and so that's what my mission is lately, is more being productive and less being busy. So I'm going to break down this power hour into four different components, but just know that I just keep talking, like I can't help it. It's like I talk and do things. And so if you're waiting for me to take a break and like put the timer on for 5 minutes, it never happens. I just keep talking. So you just have to talk through my work, or you have to work through my talk. But I do have this power hour broken down into four segments, and I will talk to you about the first one. Now, obviously, if you just want to do your thing, that's fine. But if I assume you're here because you want to, feel out how I'm doing the things, so I'm going to tell you. So every single day in my business, I make it known. You guys know this. If you've ever been on a training with me, if you've ever heard me speak at all, you know that I make it known on a daily basis. That really helps my recruiting numbers. It really helps me tell people that I'm open for business. And I think that Zaya challenge that they've come out with, letting people know that they're open for business. I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved seeing everybody post about that. But not only that, I'm like, holy crap, she's a Zaya rep. I'm like, I didn't even know. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like sitting here over here. I'm like, wow, I guess I should take her off my list of potential reps because I thought she was great and she's already doing it. So yeah, so it's apparently it works very well. But what I do is I make it known, letting people know I'm always open for business and I'm always growing my team. Always, always, always those two things. Now, do I do that in a join my team, here's a pretty picture kind of way? No, more so in my stories in a subtle way. I talk about it from the soccer field a lot. I talk about it from the things that I do on a general basis. So I am setting a timer, but that doesn't mean I will be quiet. And we're going to make it known. So the next 5 minutes, make it known in some way or another, um, on your stories, on in a post, maybe do up a post, maybe use that 7 day challenge, tag Zaya Active or tag whoever, and do it. Maybe take a screenshot here and just, tag whoever, tag me and say, hey, this is part of what I love about this business or whatever, right? Or Sarah Bernard's a crazy, crazy lunatic. And I like being on her calls to remind me that I'm normal. I don't know, whatever you want to say, you say it, but you make it known in some way. And I think that it's key. So 5 minutes here, we're already 30 seconds in. I try to do it on my stories some days and then on my posts another day. And just reminding people in a subtle way that you're open for business and you're looking at growing. So if you have questions around that, you can always ask me and I can give you tips, help, suggestions. But yeah, I'm going to do mine actually because I haven't yet. Also real leash. I'm swearing on my reviews. I don't know if you heard that yet this morning. I should check the chat as I'm writing away here. Yeah, I really should. Oh, what are we doing? Hey, Sandy, I was talking about you. I just tried the match point dress for the first time this morning, and I'm just literally writing about it right now. But we're making it known in some way, and we've got like 1.5 minutes left. And I'm just putting it up, making a post, and then we're gonna move on. Look at that, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Wow. And I was quiet for like 3 of those minutes. That was a real challenge for me. Making it known for me is a daily thing. So I do it every single day. That doesn't mean that I'm present on social media every single day. Sometimes it's just a quick little snapshot at the soccer field or groceries or it doesn't matter. And just simply letting people know that I am open for business in some way, or at least appreciating and being grateful for the community or the business or the team or right. So there's a lot of ways that you can do that. So just the more you think about it, the easier it gets. Sometimes it's really hard and you'll feel resistance when you're trying to make it known and you're forcing it and you're like, well, I don't want, and you feel like you have to share about it all in one day. Instead, you try to do this on a daily basis and it really helps. It also helps fill your funnel in a very passive way. And it doesn't add to it. Now, before we move on, I do want to share something that's really helped. Starting to do something once a day that creates consistency on your social media is a game changer. It builds trust, but it also allows people to check in on what you're doing. They feel like it's a place that they check in on when you create consistency. So for me, I don't know about if you followed me years ago, I would pour my coffee into a cup and then I would pour the it was protein milk, but on top. I did that for like 2 years. When I stopped doing it, I probably got 150 messages of like, are you not drinking coffee anymore? What's happening? Are you okay? Like, I'm like, what is happening, people? Like, I didn't realize that I was doing that and it was creating a place for people to check in on. After that, I would go from the coffee to the walking home from the barn and like my steps, and it could be snow, it could be rain, it could be mud, it could be whatever. And then it was just the scan of the walk and the field. And I did that. It was notice that those 2 things are things that you do on a daily basis. I didn't have to add to it. I'm going through the process anyways. Maybe it's you when you're opening the curtains in your bedroom or your kids' bedrooms or whatever, and you're snapping a picture of the sun coming up or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. Maybe it's your post workout sweaty selfie. Maybe it's whatever. So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be directly related to Zaya. In the barn photo, I wasn't wearing Zaya ever. I was wearing coveralls. I was pouring coffee. Zaya doesn't sell coffee. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to create consistency so people have a place to check in on and a reason to check because they know that you're going to post that. And even though it's as boring as pouring a cup of coffee, I guarantee it's going to bring people back. So create consistency by doing something, every day.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
Hey,
You scared me.
were you talking during that? Sorry, speak up. Were you talking when you were like pouring a cup of coffee, or were you just
No, it was just my favorite song.
okay?
I would just do a different song every day. And I would have it on my counter with like the background. It wasn't pretty. It was a mess. Yeah, it was just literally, and I don't know why I started doing that. I think it was because I just realized that my Ninja coffee machine had a frother and I was super excited about it that day. So I poured the frothed milk in my coffee cup and then I kept doing that. And it was like 2 years, almost 2 years. And not every single day for 2 years, but I would say 90% of those days I was pouring coffee into a cup and people were, I guess, looking forward to it because when I didn't do it, I got a lot of feedback. Anyways, so yeah, definitely add something like that because I do know that it does help and create consistency. Could just create views and trust and makes you normal, right? Yeah, see, people love it. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know it was a thing then. The second thing we're gonna do is parties. Now, I have really dove in, especially since Visily and since Share and Post My Party and all those things have shut down. I've really dove into exactly what the heck we're doing when it comes to parties and realizing a lot of us do a lot of work and it doesn't equal results. And we tell new reps that at the beginning, hey, you're going to do a lot of effort and it's not going to equal results right away, but momentum, it helps. And eventually consistency compounds and stuff like that. But I'm realizing that there's seasoned reps who are doing parties right now and consistency isn't compounding. We are doing the work and it's not equaling results. And I feel like it's, for me anyways, I'm not a party expert and I don't claim to be, but I've been trying to do effective parties lately, and so I've switched gears. The two things that I realized that we need to focus on when it comes to a better party is for people to see our stuff and connect with us. So the first is connection, and we weren't getting that for so long because, first of all, we were so separated from Visily and Post My Party and Cincher. We put it on and we walked away, right? And when we kind of let the funnel happen and the systems happen, and it was wonderful. We're not doing that anymore. It's not working anymore. We can't depend on that anymore, right? So instead, we then went from scheduling or whatever you're doing now, but no one's seeing our stuff and no one's responding to you in Messenger. I don't know about you, but that's the majority of my parties. I probably have like a 20 to 30% response rate prior to the way that I'm doing them now, which I'm going to tell you. But the other thing that we really need to have happen in parties, that first thing and that main thing is connection, conversation, interaction, and it wasn't happening. The second thing is for people to just see the link and look at the link and click on the link. So regardless of what we post in the party, because I can guarantee it doesn't matter. I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter what you're posting in your parties because 4 people out of 17 see it. And one of those is you and one of those is the hostess. So it's 2 other people. That's great. That's awesome for you. And the second thing is they're not looking through the photos and they're not reading the blurb. Because when you live in a life of TikTok and Instagram Reels and things like that, 7 seconds is the attention span, right? So if you have a big blurb about the Light and Tights and how amazing they are, that's awesome. However, they're not reading it. They're not reading it. And the people who need to read it aren't reading it. That's the more important. You're going to get people to read it, but it's probably going to be like the ones that have already ordered from you or, the hostess's mom, which is great. We love hostesses' mothers, but we want the majority of people reading it, right? So those 2 things were the biggest struggle for me in my parties. I don't know if you guys are the same. Maybe I'm not, maybe it's not, and that's okay. So we're going to talk parties in a second. For 5 minutes, I'm going to help you book some parties, but the way that I've changed the effectiveness of them, and I just did a training on this last night. So I feel like I should share with you too, is I do 2-day events with 12 posts over 2 days. So I do a pre-party day, that's day 1. 2 days of events, 2 days of posts, and then I do the 4th day is like VIP, shout outs to everyone who ordered in one post because no one cares, right? So you don't need to do a separate post for every order because you think that helps, but it doesn't. But I'm going to tell you what does help. So my 4-day parties are really 2 days of scheduling. And the first is the pre-party post and the poll and the link. And the last day is my VIP, the starter kits and the shout outs for anyone who ordered. Now, the difference between all of what I was doing and what I'm doing now is I get the hostess to create a messenger group. So not a chat off of the party because that never works, but instead an actual physical messenger group. I say, hey, Jessica, can you add me and add anybody who added themselves to the party? So this can't happen on day 1, the pre-party post. It has to happen on day 1 of the event because by then everybody's in. And I'm like, hey, and I ask her, can you do this for me? I would love that. And then I can do up a write-up if you're not comfortable just welcoming people in there and just letting them know, hey, it's not going to be all kinds of notifications. It's just me posting the important things. This messenger group, which I thought was going to be extra work, I realized that it's amazing because people see what I post. People are seeing the link. And not only that, the hostess is connected to us. So now when I message those people, they see it. We have conversations. I can be like, hey, thanks so much for sharing, Jessica, and thanks so much for putting us all together in this group. Here's the link. I just want to make sure no one misses it. And then not right away, because no one wants to be bombarded with all kinds of things. I don't know about you, but I don't. Have you ever been in a group and they're like, bang, 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 bang. And I'm like, stop, my gosh, delete. I just get super overwhelmed. So keep in mind that you don't have to put it all out there all at once. The urgency and the panic needs to be like, not here, because that's the entire world right now. And we're just a party and we're just selling activewear and we just need to be fun. So I share the link and I come back to it. But a couple hours later, maybe 6 hours later, mid-afternoon, I post a little poll. And you can do that right in your messenger group. Never tried and loved, never hosted, need the discount. Those are the 4 things. And you might not get 12 out of 12 people answering the poll, but I can guarantee you some people answer because they like answering polls and because they're seeing the freaking poll. Because I used to do the poll in the group, the party group. No one sees it. I might get like 3 or 4 answers. That's great. But not many people are seeing it. Whereas when it's in the messenger group, people are seeing it. But more importantly, even if they don't answer, when I get Trudy, who answers never tried, I can be like, listen, I'm going to send you a message, Trudy. There's a new customer promo right now and you can get free items. Check your messages. Well, then Jessica or whoever sees that, Catherine, and she's like, oh my gosh, well, I'm new too. You know what I mean? So they're going to be more inclined because you're sharing very important things. You're not sharing about the go-to teas or the tanks or the whatever. And to be honest, it doesn't matter what you're sharing over in the party because all you need people to do is look at that link. In 2019, we had 9 pages of items, and one of those pages were socks, and those are the only things that were in stock for some time in Canada. So it doesn't matter, right? Right now we have what, 92 pages of things? How on earth are you going to share that in a party? And what are you going to pick and choose? And messaging individually definitely helps, but this takes the middle step out. The messenger group, you're sharing the link, you're sharing about the new customer promo, because that's super important right now. It's not going away. You're sharing the important things like, hey, today is, we've got 2 days left. I would love to help you. And you can do like, if you're offering free shipping or whatever you're offering in your parties, and needless, like you don't have to offer anything, but that's where you put it because that's where people see it. So this has turned into a training and I do apologize for that, but I wanted you to know because it has completely changed my party situation. I've had 3 parties this month and they've all reached at least level 2 and one of them is on this way to level 3, and it's because of the messenger group. I know that to be true. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. Plus, I'm working on my 15th new customer, and I'm telling you that's because of the messenger group. So we need to work smarter, not harder. And I feel like a lot of people put in a lot of effort and they work really hard, and it's not equaling results anymore, not the same way that it has been. So sometimes that's super important. I have found that it's more effective if the hostess creates it and adds me to it. That's Jessica, and because I've done it both ways, as you know, we've done some messenger groups together last year, and yeah, I've definitely created the messenger party because I tried that. I tried the 1 hour messenger party. I've tried them all. And I'm really comfortable. I really like the Facebook group parties. That's where I'm more comfy. That's where I'm more happy. And I find the 1 hour ones just stress me the F out. I can't handle it. I don't have the bandwidth for that. So this is kind of like a happy medium. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. Okay, let's get some parties booked. We're going to spend the next 5 minutes doing that. And this is how I do it. Robin Eddy said something to me once where she was like on a training with my team. And she's like, we need to just start booking parties with people who want to host parties. And I was just like, yeah, you're right. So if you have people who don't want to book parties with you, I need you to not try to book them in, because then it's going to be a soul sucking, terrible experience where you're exhausted by the end of it. Move on. There's lots of people out there. Just because you haven't found the person to book a party for today doesn't mean that they're not out there, right? So don't push down a door that's not open. So inviting people to host, super important. Like I said, those 2 things that are really key in parties is the connection and is the link that needs to be shared. And the messenger group for me has been working on that. I don't want you to leave thinking I am an expert on parties. I am not. I've never have been, but I've definitely done them a lot of ways that haven't worked. And this is working lately. So I've been doing polls on stories with dates. That has helped a bit. I've gone through my past groups. So I've done, last month I started in January for any party. And I went through and I just kind of messaged people, or I looked at the people that have kind of commented back and maybe didn't order. And I say, hey, Erin, I noticed that you were in, Victoria's party in February, and I'm just reaching out. I actually have a spot open. I'm not sure if you're interested in getting free and half price stuff. That I've booked a couple through there. Not everyone's going to answer you back, and that's okay. This is just another route. Another way that I do parties is order history. And I know people say this, and I know you guys know this, but order history is so important because you're going to miss people. I'm telling you, I don't know what list you get for parties, but you're going to miss people. So go back into your order history and make sure you're just seeing everybody. Another great way is this new customers from last month. You should message them. I think they have a 20, what is it in the US? I don't know what they have. In Canada, we get them $25 after. In the US, is it like a 20% or something? Yeah, okay. I thought I was just making that up. Anyway, so order history for sure. New customers, definitely reach out to all of them because they have a incentive to actually order again. They might as well be ordering on their own link. And then this is what I want you to do is the last thing is when you're making it known on a daily basis, and obviously today might be your first day and that's okay. But if you do this consistently, the people who are liking your stories, commenting on your stories, maybe on your posts, you're going to start conversations with them. 2024 is conversations is the currency. Conversation is the currency in 2024. Last year it was the reels, and the year before I have no idea, but I'm telling you 2024 it's all about the conversations. So start conversations with people, especially the ones who are commenting and watching you and loving your shit, right? I think that's really important. So for me, let's look at the last 3 parties that I've booked, just so that I can help you better. Now, obviously, this is not a training, so ask questions if you have it. Maybe you've maybe you have questions. Sorry, I didn't finish that thought. I definitely finished it in my head. I apologize.
Well, I've been reaching out to new customers and they all ghost me.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Do they like their stuff?
I don't know. They don't answer me.
So I don't ever bring up a party until I'm in a conversation with someone. And I don't know if I've changed the way that I did that. I used to just be like, I have to book parties. So I'm messaging about parties, and no one was answering. So now I'm like, especially for the new customer, Sandy, I'm like, hey, Holly, I can't believe that you got that free whatever. Let me know how it is, or you got to tell me how it is, or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And then when they're like, oh, I actually didn't get it yet, I don't know when the tracking is, then you can send them the tracking, and then you're following up with them, and then you're in a conversation, right? I think sometimes we jump too many hoops, or we jump to the spot where it's like, we need to book parties, I need parties, I'm panicking about parties, and that's all you're asking. And it feels heavy, and it feels like it's an ask when you come to them, when it's an ask. Instead, you're offering them an opportunity to get free and half price stuff. And when you come from that angle, I think it helps. Obviously, if new customers aren't responding to you, then you just continue to try and continue the conversation, but move on to other people at that point. You don't wait. For me, what's been really helping lately is I've actually been going into the views of my stories, and Instagram never works. I have people watching on there, but I don't know who they are. And half the time when I message people on Instagram, they're like, actually, I'm a rep. I'm like, oh, perfect. That's half of my views on Instagram. And I don't know why. I'm not good at what I do on Instagram, but apparently half of the Zaya world just thinks I am, or they're just waiting for me to, like, I don't know, combust or say something I shouldn't. I feel that that's why they're there. But on Facebook, my views. So I've been going through my views on Facebook for my stories, and I've been reaching out to people I haven't yet had a conversation with. It feels very much like when people are in your VIP and you haven't yet had a conversation with them, and they're in your VIP with your name on the top of the group. It's weird. It's like, why haven't you talked to them yet? I feel very similar to that with people who watch my stories, especially on a daily basis, because I'm like, I don't know you. We haven't had a conversation yet. I don't know where like you came from in terms of party, a reel, what is it, right? So I usually reach out and like, oh my gosh, Melanie, I need to know, like, did you follow me from that reel that I posted about whatever? Or are you local to me? I would love to know. Or whatever, right? Ask them a question. Or you could just even click on Melanie's thing and be like, oh my gosh, she has a dog. Done. Tell me about your dog. I need to know, right? Anything like that, just starting a conversation with people on my stories. And I booked a few for the summer, for this month, sorry, doing that. I'm by a few, I mean two. But it definitely helps because they're already watching your stuff. They already hear you talking about parties, but they're probably not going to click on a poll or whatever like that because they haven't had a conversation with you yet. I don't know about you, but are you on other people's stuff? And if they're asking polls and stuff like that, and if you've not yet ever talked to this person, I don't know about you, but I would not be inclined to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to answer all her questions when I don't really, we've never had a conversation. So definitely reach out to the people who are watching your stories and conversate, right? Conversate, start something. And I think that's super important. Does anyone feel like they are having wins with parties lately that they want to share? Everyone's like, no, it's a dead zone over here. No.
One of the things that I've been doing to get some parties on the books is when somebody has a birthday, I usually will send them a $10 birthday gift card. And then, sending them the link and all of that. And then I'll follow up with another message. I ask, hey, do you want to spoil yourself a little bit more with more than just $10 off? We could totally do a birthday event and let your friends help you earn those rewards so you can spoil yourself.
I love that. I think that's a great idea, Jen. And recently, no, I wouldn't say recently, probably last year, I did a poll in my VIP about what their job was. And I had a couple options like, are you an office worker, like in Min? Are you a teacher? Are you in the medical field? And then from there, I was reaching out to people and I'd be like, oh my gosh, tell me, like, where do you get your scrubs? Or are you able to wear joggers? And then I'd send them like 5 options, but then I was booking events from that. And knowing that most of those people are people who want jogger options for scrubs or office attire, or maybe they worked at a gym and, easy for me to help them in that area. So I think it's important on our VIPs to get to know people and get to know our audience, and asking polls about that not only opens the door for more events, but it also gets you to know more so you can share better, right? And I think that's super important. For the events, if you do try the messenger group, and if you have questions or anything like that, or if you need clarification, or if you're like, I don't even know what to say or what to ask or whatever, just reach out, like send me a message. I would love to help you with the parties, because I know that those have kind of been a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging in 2024. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling that over here. And I think it's super important to find the joy in them again, because they're not going away. I asked. They're sticking around for a while, so we should probably get better at them. Okay, so the next 5 minutes we're gonna do follow-up, because I could talk parties all day apparently. Follow-up for me is every single Monday. I scroll on my messenger on Facebook to the previous Monday. I do this every single Monday, and then I write, well, I have about 63 of these all over my desk, but I write down who I missed, returns, exchanges, follow-ups, who ordered and I didn't say anything yet, who, like, who do I need to remind? Hey, just following up about whatever. I do that from Monday to Monday because it creates a system. And I mean, I don't have a spreadsheet system, it's just on paper, but then I can work from there. And I'm not missing anybody, because for years I used to do this business and just, what the heck? I don't even know who that person is. Why is she asking him where her tank is? And I just didn't really have a good grasp of the things that I was missing. And so Monday to Monday, I think that that's super important. That's probably been my biggest help with follow-up, because I know a lot of people follow up and they struggle with it. I don't know about you, if you guys have a follow-up system that you use, but that's the only one that's been really effective for me, is Monday to Monday and checking messages and making sure I have a list to work from, and making sure I didn't miss anything. Because sometimes I open a message and then I'm like, oh yeah, no, I remember that. I'll do that. and then I don't, and it's like 3 days, and I'm like, I don't even remember that. Was I drunk? No, I haven't been drinking. I don't know where that went. And yeah, so that's what I do. For follow-up for the messenger group, just because we were talking about that. I post like 2 days left to order. Today's the last day. Tomorrow's the link will be closed. Make sure to check your messages. That's how I'm kind of following up with people. And then I am sending messages personally. But from there, it's very easy. Like I've been getting probably a 30-40% rate before the messenger group of people connecting back with me. And now it's like 90%, I would say, and which is amazing. I don't know about you, but it's like a breath of fresh air. People are messaging me. I pick up my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like getting back to me. What is this? What is happening? I have to talk to people. Where normally it was like you just kind of sent them a message and figured they weren't getting back to you. I don't know about you. I guess that was the wrong mindset to think. Follow up for parties. In terms of booking parties, don't be afraid to message people again. Like you message them once, especially after having a conversation with them, and then you ask them about a party and there's nothing. You can be like, hey, I'm just touching back. I'm trying to fill my spots and I did see you on the list. Remind people they're busy. I know I'm busy, right? Don't be scared to follow up about parties. When you're following up about sales, like PV orders, make sure to ask them if they need any help or do you want any more suggestions, or just like follow it and leave it with a question. I find that really helps instead of just following up about the order for Jessica's event. They're going to feel like that's adding to their plate. Instead, you're supposed to be helping them, right? So just say, is there anything I can do? Like, you know, I sent you a few suggestions, but we could definitely switch gears and we could take a look at joggers if you want. Do you want me to send some of those? Or what are have you narrowed down your wish list? Yes, yet, right? Asking people. Does that make sense? And does that help at all? Do you have any questions when it comes to that? I'm sure you guys have follow-up systems. Like I said, I'm not an expert when it comes to follow-up or parties, or anything like that. And I don't claim to be, but I do have systems that work. And I'm big on simplifying right now and not massive action because it's exhausting, but instead things that actually move the business forward, which is helpful. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to talk on recruiting. At the end of the day, this is a MLM business. And as much as everybody is concerned and worried and focused on new customers, corporate included, it's still an MLM business. And it is still a business that thrives on you growing your team, especially if you are wanting passive residual income. That's just the way it is. And that's not going to change for the foreseeable future. So if you've kind of taken a step back from recruiting, I mean, I even have too, in 2024, just remember that you can do the recruiting, even with the new customers, even with the sales, even with the parties, and even with all those challenges that you find with those three things, you can still recruit. You can still do it's not a separate part of your business. It's really entwined with all of that. So when you're connecting with people, because conversation is the currency of 2024, I 100% believe that, making sure to let them know, right? Bringing it up as an option. I think it's so important to have the mindset of a recruiter. Bringing it up as an option is your responsibility. It's your job. It's not a hindrance. It's not a, oh my gosh, they're going to say no. They might. They probably will. That's okay. You still have to bring it up. Especially if they're repeating, like a repeat customer, bringing up the discount, bringing up bringing up a opportunity for them to earn more. Have you looked around lately? Things are expensive. People are struggling, and everyone wears clothes. Everyone wears clothes, right? So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about recruiting and thinking, hey, it's not the economy to do that. Just a second, it's my daughter calling from school. Sorry, that was out loud. Oh, I love her. Anyways, yeah, recruiting is definitely something that we've gotten away from. I mean, you can tell just from Summit, the top 15 enrollers instead of top 20, and they spent 40 seconds on it. I want to remind people that it's here and it should be a focus. because it will help compound your results, and it will help you feel more productive and less busy. Plus, regardless of that, it helps people. Oh my gosh, this is her fourth call. Just a second, sorry. She hung up on me. You never know with 14-year-olds if they're being taken, like kidnapped, or if they just can't find their other sneaker. Like, it's just like, it's the same. It's the same level of urgency. Like, oh my gosh, I got a stain on my sweater. And it's like, I'm being kidnapped. You could call your mother 5 times apparently for the same reason. Anyway, so we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. But the recruiting. So for me, the recruiting happens in Messenger. I have never recruited someone from a post, but you can continue to post about it, and that's great. But just keep that in mind. I've never recruited someone from a post. With that being said, I have an ad that works fairly well. I know a lot of people, when they do the ad, all they get is gross old men messaging them. I haven't had that issue, and I don't know. I've really thought about it, and I'm not taking it personally, but I don't have any men message me.
I had to turn off my ad. It was just, I'm like, are you looking for more? And they're like, yeah, baby, I am. I'm like, go away. Please go away.
I just love that. I'm sorry, that's terrible.
I didn't have one woman, so I had to turn it off.
I don't have any men like message me ever. So I don't know the ad. I mean, and I can share the ad with you. It's not,
Must be my sexual,
I feel
don't
like
know.
I'm in a bathing suit top, like flexing. Like, I feel like it's an open invitation, but it's not. And I'm okay with it. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm not butthurt, but a little surprised because I feel like I have a lot to offer, but I guess not. Anyways, my ad does well, but I do have a video on it, so I can send you the video. You can take a look, maybe set one up for yourself. If you are like Sandy, you're just going to get all the men and no potential reps. But if you're me, you're probably going to get, I probably recruit 1 rep a month from the ad. And I feel like that's fairly good. So I'll take those odds, right? I do talk to a lot of other people that you can clearly be like, no, I don't think this is for you. But no men on my ad. So I can share that with you. If you want to reach out, I can send you the video. It's just a YouTube link. And yeah, anyways, I hope that you guys feel the need and the urgency to recruit now, not because of your business or your passive income or residual income but instead for others. If you take a look around at the grocery store, if you are looking at people when you're out and about, it's pretty prevalent. It's pretty obvious that some people would really appreciate something that they can earn passively. Now, I don't feel like I can sell the dream anymore. And I said this to someone at corporate last year, and I probably why I wasn't asked to speak at Summit this year, but the dream to me was like, legacy income and beach houses and all that. And I don't feel like I can sell that anymore, but I certainly can sell the $500 a month to help cover gas and groceries. And I can help you how to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's heavy on my heart right now. And not only that, I feel like it's really needed. So just because that has changed, the level of, well, we're going to recruit and we're going to go on beach trips. No, but I can help you pay for some gas and, cover some clothes for you and your family. And the warranty is really good. That's where I'm at. So just reminding you, and talking about it because I want the top 20 enrollers back. I want them, I want them to spend a little bit more time at Summit about it. And I think that it's super important still in this business. So share about it and talk to people about it. I am recruiting from Messenger, from the conversations that I'm having, because if you conversate with people for more than 5 minutes, you realize that this is an opportunity for them and that they need it. And that you're sitting on something that can help, right? Even in that small way. And I think about that with parties too. And anyways, I hope that this helped. At any point you can reach out. I'm going to try and do these power hours once a week just to kind of help people feel a little bit more like they got their shit together, and that's okay if you don't. But we will go over different things. So today it was making it known, parties for, you know, 10 minutes, follow up, and then recruiting. Next week it will be about different things that I do that still move my business forward. And at any point you have any questions, you can always reach out. Awesome. Let's go crush some Make Room Monday sales soon. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And don't forget the 7-day challenge. It's like an honorary system and they're giving away a crap ton of stuff. No Pelotons. Do you remember when they were giving away Pelotons? I didn't get one ever.
Stop.
Just FYI.
I knew you were
Like,
gonna go there.
Mandy's like, please stop talking about it, Sarah. She's on the team and she hears me complain about it since 2019, really. I worked my ass off and I did not get one. And I noticed they weren't giving one out today. And I did send a message and Zach apologizes. However, I'm going to win something. You watch. So the 7-day challenge, honorary system, make sure you share the crap out of it. And it's just a good thing to do for your business. And I hope you guys win everything. Happy Friday. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.